Have a purpose statement for your break so you understand what's at stake. When you think about being afraid of what people are going to think, I want you to understand what's at risk if you need or want a break and you don't take it. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. So breaks, they don't get the kudos they deserve. In fact, oftentimes in our society, in our world, they have a bad rap, right? You think about them potentially derailing your career, being a huge waste of money, maybe signaling that you're irresponsible or worst case, selfish. But today, I'm going to make a case that breaks are actually a very smart investment that can yield long-term benefits that will just continue to compound over the rest of your life. So before we start, I just want to set some context for how I'm thinking and speaking of breaks. These are the three main types of breaks that I work with my clients through. So first we have career breaks. That's where you quit a job and you're unemployed. You don't necessarily know what you're going to go back to. Even if you start involuntarily, maybe you're let go, if you decide to own that time and use it for your own benefit, that would count as a career break. Sabbaticals are technically employer-provided benefits. So this is when your employer is like, you can take this benefit, you can take a leave of absence, do what you want. Sometimes it's paid, sometimes it's unpaid, but you know you're going to come back to the same company. A leave of absence is like just a bigger catch-all type of break. People take them for relocation, for caregiving, for mental health, for physical health. Some of my clients have taken mental health leave of absence, for example. And these, again, you negotiate with your employer. You might have also heard the term mini retirement, adult gap year. We would consider that career break. So I want to tell you my career break story through the lens of the benefits I've received and that continue to compound over my life. So in 2013, I took a break. At that time in my life, I had had an 8-year career as an actuary. I had then gone to a top 20 business school, finished with a degree in marketing and market research, went to go start a whole second career, and everything was looking so good from the outside. Like, I looked very successful. I was checking a lot of boxes, making my parents proud, looking good against my peers. But on the inside, I felt really lost because this was not the life that I wanted. Like, that life wasn't making me feel good. And it felt like somehow I was in the wrong place doing the wrong thing, but I didn't know what the right thing was. So in the midst of this, I kept asking myself, is this really all there is? Is this all there's ever going to be to my life? And I decided at that point to take a break. So benefit number one is that I only had $1,500 in my bank account and no idea how I was going to actually pay for a career break. I wanted to travel the world. That takes a lot of money. So I made a plan and I saved $40,000 in 18 months. So benefit number one before the break even started is that I changed my relationship with money and got on a much better path. The second benefit, which is actually arguably the biggest benefit of my whole entire break, happened right before it started. So I've planned and I've saved for 2 years. I'm so excited to take this break. I gave 8 months notice at my employer. Like, I am eyeing that finish line. And about a week before my break started, my younger brother unexpectedly passed away. And it was the worst thing that has ever happened to me. So now I'm standing here in this moment with the worst thing of my whole life, about to embark on one of the best things, right? I don't know what would have happened to me if I had to return to the job I didn't like and the life that didn't feel like it was my own, living with all of that grief and loss. But what I did have was $40,000, a plan for some time off, and I'd already quit my job. So I literally credit my break with saving my life and giving me something to be excited about as I went through that process. So then I take a break. I travel for 20 months. It's so amazing. I become a certified yoga instructor in Bali. I travel to Europe. I live in Argentina. I have the most amazing time. And then I come back and I don't know what I'm going to come back to. I start applying for jobs after a 20-month absence from the workforce. But I managed to land 5 job offers in just 5 weeks. One was a dream job. One was a 30% pay raise. One was a complete career change. And it was in this moment I realized that breaks, when taken well with intention, can actually open the door to better career possibilities instead of taking them away from you. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going back to corporate. I'm going to become debt-free. I apply those same money skills I used to save for a break to pay off $42,000 worth of debt in less than 21 months, including a $15,000 pay cut that I took halfway through to change jobs for something I really wanted to do. And I'm so grateful for the level of freedom that afforded me. And with that, I became a certified life coach. I would have never taken on entrepreneurship without my break. It inspired me to think bigger. It inspired me to take more risk. And it inspired me to look at the people around me doing all kinds of wild and crazy things and say, why not me? I can do that too. So 5 to 6 years later, the For Dummies publisher comes knocking on my door via email. And they're like, hey, would you write a book about this? We think it would make a really great topic. I was not an author. I didn't know how to write a book, but I knew it was a great opportunity, so I said yes. So now my break has allowed me to impact more people and continues to attract even more amazing opportunities that were previously unimaginable. And lastly, I crossed a threshold this year to say I've coached 100 breaks, which is really special. And I think it just speaks to the level of impact my break is allowing me to have. So, what can you stand to gain from taking a break? The answer is a lot of things. I've put some of the most common benefits I see through my clients on this slide, but there are a few I just want to point out. First of all, in our lives, a lot of us are running at 25%. So we get down to that critical 2% and we're like, oh my God, I just have to take a break. I just can't make it. So we go charge ourselves and we're waiting for that charge. We get to like 25, 30%. We're like, that's good enough. We unplug and then we hit the ground running some more. A break is a chance to see what it feels like to have 100% charge and restoration. It also allows you to establish healthier habits and boundaries. When you think about boundaries with loved ones, boundaries with yourself, boundaries with work in general, it's kind of like trying to fix a leaky roof. When the rain is just pouring in, it's really hard to focus. But if you can wait for a sunny day when you don't have distractions and you can focus on that one mission and that one thing that you want to fix, it makes it so much easier. A really big one that I think gets overlooked is the ability to celebrate the life that you have worked so hard for. I see this with literally almost every single client. They have achieved amazing things in their career. They have shown up for people they love. They've done amazing things, usually with their finances, but they're waiting to celebrate when I get that next promotion, when I hit that next threshold of my savings, right? Brains will do that. It keeps raising the bar. When you achieve it, it's like, that's good, but it's not good enough. Now we have imposter syndrome about this new role. We have to wait until we feel like we can handle it. And then once you can handle it, you're like, yeah, but now I should get promoted to director, right? So a break is a chance to just sit in the amazingness of your life and really appreciate all the hard work that you have done up to this point and really enjoy it. And lastly, it's a chance to take a sample of the FI dream, right? Like what's waiting for me at the end of the rainbow, you don't have to wait. You can live in the miracle of that now, get a taste of it, and figure out, is that who I really want to be at the end? Are these things I really want to do? Or maybe you discover on a break, you want more downtime or you want less travel. Like you can learn things that will help inform and shape the dream that you're building towards. Okay, so let's talk about that compounding interest. It can be hard to conceptualize what's waiting for you on the other side of a break if you've never taken one. I totally get that. So I'm going to tell you like a few client examples that I think are really special. This is a picture of one of my clients, by the way, who flew to Atlanta to celebrate my book coming out. And she's one of the anecdotes in the story. And it's just like a really special photo. But one of my clients, Misha, was living in Texas. She had this big dream of relocating to the Pacific Northwest, but it was really scary. Like all her friends and family were in Texas. She used her break to move out there, to get to feel at home in her new city and her new state, and to make new friends. She ends up finding a job at the end of her break, which I think was about 8 months. She said it's the easiest job search she's ever had. She felt so much more grounded and centered in her job search, having gone through our coaching and with her break. 3 weeks, I think she had an offer, or at least like the interview process started. She starts a third career. She makes new friends. She meets a future husband. And last month she had a baby. So like her life moved forward in a way that was really aligned with who she wanted to be. Juliana experienced massive transformation. She was really successful in her corporate role in marketing, but she didn't feel like that was the life that she wanted. She felt like she was in a cage. So she took a break. She traveled around the world. She had a lot of adventures, but she also started a blog because she wanted to be a writer. She got a logo. She got a website. She started sharing amazing things about her break. But she also worked for a startup for a few weeks and was brought on to do some marketing work with them to sample that type of life. Ultimately, what she realized is that she wanted to go back to corporate. After all that, she wanted, at this season of her life, a steady paycheck and to go back to something she knew how to do. But when she returned, she was different on the inside. So even though her role looked really similar from the outside, she had a completely different experience of her life because of who she became through that experience. And she was shining really brightly. She felt so empowered to be her authentic self and to bring joy to the workplace. She was tapped to be the president of the Women's Network at this new employer less than 1 year into her return from a break. It was really incredible. Karen was suffering in a toxic job with a lot of health issues she never had the time to really piece together. She took a break and discovered she was living with Lyme disease. And through her break, she had the time to really heal and do the work so that she could become strong again. And it sparked an interest and a passion for helping others. And now she is working towards taking a new career path in more natural medicine to help other people on their journey with Lyme disease. And the last one is Twyla. Twyla went on a joy adventure. So she had very strict and confining careers. I think she'd had 2 when she decided to take a break. Now, the secret is that when you magically stop working, you don't just learn how to be a fun person and to really enjoy and savor the magic of life. It's a practice. Brains they have a negativity bias, and you're wired to just continue upon the patterns that you've developed. So we did the work to practice savoring. That was one of her themes for her break. I just want to savor a sunset. I want to savor a meal. I want to savor a moment with a friend. And she actually turned her break into sort of her retirement. And so she decided to just kind of stay retired. And she's currently traveling around the world still, very slowly. But it changed her life to allow her to have the capacity to enjoy it and to give herself permission to enjoy it. So why don't more people take breaks if they're so fantastic and they change your life? Well, because there are some big issues, right? And a lot of fear. So these are the 3 that I see most commonly. People usually have a mix of several, but I also want to give you an anecdote or a coaching tool that will help you if you resonate with any of these and you're thinking man, I would love to take a break, but. So when it comes to money, a lot of people think of it as an expense. It's a huge expense. But I hope what you're beginning to see is that you can frame it as a very strategic investment in your happiness, in your growth, and in your well-being. You can also think about the number. So a lot of people, many of my clients will say, I can't afford a break. I don't know that I can afford a break. But when I look at their accounts, when we look at the numbers, they have the money. The struggle is in giving themselves permission to access the money and use it for their own well-being versus something more transactional. So I encourage you to know what your number actually is and remember that you are incredibly resourceful and creative. You can find ways to reduce that number. I went deep down the rabbit hole of points and miles for my break to find ways to travel more cheaply. But there are also tax advantages and strategies you can use for no or low income years. So you can also think about that to sort of mitigate some of that cost. When it comes to your career, I told you my story. I see it play out for many of my clients. They come back to better jobs. So imagine a version of you that's burnt out, kind of annoyed with the things you have to do, feeling oh my God, if I could just get a break, have a rest. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Imagine that you have a break and you come back and you're really excited and you have new ideas and you're actually really enthusiastically ready to contribute something because you feel refreshed and everybody else is still running on the hamster wheel, feeling really burnt out and very tired. And you bust in this super recharged, happy hamster, I'm ready to do this, right? That version of you can absolutely create a better work opportunity. You have the same expertise, the same experience, and the same network. You can also upskill during a break. So I have clients that have done fellowships for clean energy, clients that take certifications, do courses, but you can also spend that time cultivating, nurturing, and deepening your network. Meeting more people that you don't even know, people that you think, oh my God, you are an amazing writer or you have a great podcast, and just engaging those people and thanking them for their work and building relationships. The last one is perception. And this one's really about being afraid of how people will see you or how you will see yourself, which is actually really a big fear that a lot of my clients face. So number one, we're going to talk more about this in a second, but I want you to get clear on your why. Have a purpose statement for your break so you understand what's at stake. When you think about being afraid of what people are going to think, I want you to understand what's at risk if you need or want a break and you don't take it. I also want to take a moment to reframe the word irresponsible. So I hear this come up a lot. It would be really irresponsible to take a step back right now. And I genuinely believe the most irresponsible thing that you could ever do is be given the gift of life, have special gifts and talents and desires and dreams, and never fulfill them because you were too afraid. To get to the end of your life and be like, I had a lot going for me. I mean, I never really get to know what that could have looked like because I just wanted to play it safe and I wanted to feel comfortable all the time, or I just wanted to follow the rules. Like, that's a waste. I want you to live the best version of your life that you can. And I think it's irresponsible to do anything less. So where do you start if you want to take a break? How do you start? This is a blueprint. I call it the break blueprint. It's a one-page roadmap. It doesn't have to be complicated when you plan this time off. It just has to be intentional. And the two things I want to point out are the foundation. Your why is your purpose statement. And your themes, I recommend having 3 to 4 if you're taking a break that's like 3 months or longer, are the pillars of your break. It's what your break is really about. When you can articulate your purpose and your themes, it's so much easier to give your notice. It's so much easier to tell people, I'm taking a break and this is what I'm doing, even if you have no idea what you're actually going to do on the break. It also helps you feel more confident in your decision and make sure that your break is successful no matter what you decide to do with your time, right? One of my clients, her purpose statement was, I want to put myself in the center of my own life for the first time in my whole adult life. I never come first. That's a really high stakes proposition, right? And when she's telling people, I want to put myself first, I want to explore what brings me alive for the first time ever, it's a lot easier for them to understand and be like, I don't really know what that means, but I like it. I think it's cool that you're going to do it. Like, you should go do that. That sounds great. The themes are simple one-word anchors. You know, it might be learning, connection, restoration. For Twyla, it was savor. That was one of her themes. But what is this break really about? So I encourage you to be intentional. If you're thinking about a break, this will help you see what's at stake and really process, could it be worth it? And if you're on a break now and things feel a little wonky, you can always go back to this and say, why am I here again? What is this really about? I've had clients get divorced that they weren't expecting to get divorced on a break. I lost my brother. I've had a client lose her mom. You can always go back to this purpose to say to yourself, what is this really for? Life has changed. My circumstance has changed, but my intention remains the same. How can I make this current circumstance work for me to get what I need out of this experience? So wealth is really about how well you live. It's not just about how much you have to live on, right? Maximizing numbers, maximizing productivity is not the same thing as maximizing your life. And so what I want for you is to be living a life where you get to enjoy life as you go and you're not waiting and sacrificing some of the best years of your life to get to the good part. This is the only thing we know for sure is right now. This has to be the good part, right? We can build towards future better, but this is all I know I'm guaranteed to have. This is all I know that you're guaranteed to have. So I want you to feel empowered to make the most of it. And breaks are a really vital way that you can make space for your life outside of just work and making money to address and nurture the parts of yourself that you feel like you've maybe neglected along the way or that you just really want to pour into. Thank you.